Okay, so completing the day yesterday with the method we've developed and the method we are experimenting, improving, all of us together, calls for a summary of all the work we did yesterday. I presented a very draft summary at 6 p.m., if you remember correctly, and now we've done a more in-depth analysis of the work carried out by the groups, and thank you, secretaries, for the very good summaries of the group work. Thank you also for the summaries carried out by the moderator and the analysis of the interventions that took place yesterday. And so now we've had the time to work more on that summary, and we'll present now the synthesis, the summary of the work carried out yesterday. And the idea would be for us to be able to really bring it home, internalize it, and set the basis for the work today. Okay. So this is the summary or synthesis of on the debate on the conscious person. This is Monday, 3rd of November. And we'll start with the very same image we worked on yesterday. And we were speaking about how educating conscious people means putting our weight behind human excellence, influencing, moving affections, helping and accompanying, and we spoke about assessing, and here we've put the network of Jesuit schools as one of the key means available to us in order to welcome diversity. We need to assess all the time in any aspect. Assessment would be, as it were, a backdrop to everything we do, but this is the minimal synthesis of all the work we carried out yesterday. Please remember that we had this tension, and the group was able to put forward alternatives to overcome it, because there was this dilemma between whether we had to steal minutes devoted to the conscious person, or whether we had to really permeate all the academic activity we carry out. Which of the two? Remember, we were also speaking about how we had to guarantee to secure our identity and at the same time welcome diversity, and there's a tension there. And now let us delve a little bit in each of these concepts. When we spoke about influencing and the minutes devoted to a person, we identified a number of alternatives and reflections by you all. And so we spoke about how influencing was a constant dialogue at the end of the day. And perhaps we need to think about a new way to manage time. One of the groups mentioned this, how sometimes we're enslaved by very strict time schedules and structures. We also spoke about the experience of pausing in the classroom. And there's even experiences where at a set time, no matter what we're doing, where we are, we pause. We also spoke about the Ignatian examen in terms of personal and institutional even Ignatian examen. One of the groups really insisted upon this notion of a new faith, a person who's conscious, competent, compassive, even creative, we spoke about. Calling for an adaptation to a new learning environment, a 21st century learning environment, which is something we'll continue hearing about today. We also talked about promoting critical thinking and about helping to build the life project for each student. This is an idea that came up. Educating conscious people means helping people build their own life project. And we also mentioned that it'll be very difficult to help them do that unless we help teachers and teaching staff to have their own strong, sound life projects, and so there needs to be training in terms of introduccion examen and in terms of life project for the teaching staff too. As for moving affections in the teaching tasks and environment, we spoke about facilitating frontier experiences, frontier life experiences, we call them. We spoke about how we had to make them see that changes were possible, how those experiences were very important. We spoke about having the students side by side with us, rather than in front of us or facing us, because it was better for the development of the conscious person if we did it that way. We spoke about doing it from the curriculum with the curricula. And there was a group that spoke about the idea of a new way to manage curricula and work curricula. And perhaps this is a bit of a leap. And our speaker today and our moderator today will have the opportunity to build on that. We spoke about using the pedagogical introduccion paradigm tools, pre-lecture repetition for meta-learning. Our students not only need to learn, but also need to reflect on how they learn, which is a way to be conscious and aware of what you're doing. We spoke about the experiences in certain schools that start the day and finish the day in a particular way, and at the end of the day there is a little introduccion examen, taking stock of the day. And also, in order to move affections, it is important to be a benchmark, a point of reference, and a role model for our students. All of this within the context of moving affections in academic activities. As for the idea to help and accompany and related to securing the identity, we spoke about an introduccion identity, an identity deeply related to human values. We spoke about how identity is both a sign and a testimony. It bears witness, and it is important to bear this in mind too. We spoke about helping to bring about discernment between multiple good decisions, not only discerning between good and evil, but also being able to discern when there are several good options, and how hard that is, but how necessary. And also there was an idea related to the life project, which was helping students to build their identity. It is not possible today to live out in the open without a clear identity, and this is very much related to the life project notion. Welcoming diversity, and this is related to the network of Jesuit schools. Building this network as a means to transform our schools and in our turn be able to transform the world. This was an idea that's very interesting. Again, when we build our network, we transform ourselves. We're not the same school. We've related to other schools. We've discovered other ways, other forms of diversity, and these can lead to further transformation in the world at large. Diversity expands the horizons, and it enables us to open to new ways of thinking and feeling. Our students are also a form of diversity, rather. And if we open to the way they think and feel, we are transforming and expanding too. And diversity generates tension, that is true. But Ignatian spirituality is all about tensions in a sense. And so this is a tension that helps us. And finally, there was another idea yesterday that started coming up, which was this idea of how diversity is an opportunity to find new aspects of what God is and what He wants from us in the face of His diversity. With diversity, God makes us discover part of the plan He has for us. And finally, in order to really link with today's debate, which is the competent person, an idea we all share, which is simple, but it's important to remember right now, is this. Educating a conscious person is actually unveiling the talent this person does already have, helping them unveil and build on that talent they have. And for that, we educate this competent person. That's the best way to do it. So this is the summary for yesterday. And we are now going to try and translate this into English. And before the day is over, we'll try and get it to you, get you a copy of this synthesis, because it'll be perhaps interesting for you to have this summary. We'll try to do this every day, to have the summary of the previous day every day, so that we can all together build this shared discourse.